What's up? It's Way Up with Angela Yee, and definitely a legend. Legends only are here today. Vanessa Calloway, thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
Do you and listen, we just had the whole cast of Unexpected Christmas here, but now you're here, and you're definitely somebody that I think everybody knows.
And they were all my friends, so it was good to see them.
I told them, I was like, I know y'all know each other. Some of you have worked together.
Good to see them. Yes, yeah, worked with several of them. Yes.
You know, how is it to know that, having had such legendary moments, and even from, I don't know too many people that we could look at a body of work that they've done, decades ago and be like, that's still so important to us today?
Well, you never know what the job's going to be when you get it. Mm-hmm. When you're getting something, you just want a job most of the times. Right. And then you like the script, or you like the people, or it's for whatever reason, it attracts you. It attracts you. But the bonus is when you do something and then years later it still stands, it still holds up.
It's like Halloween costumes from
like Coming to America, every year I get pictures of girls in their prom dresses. I get bridal lookalikes. Of course, Halloween is huge. And who knew that? Nobody knew that. I didn't know that was going to be one of the most iconic roles in the movie. So you do something, and when you do it with the right heart and the spirit because you like it, and then you want to bring it justice, then the rest of it takes care of itself.
I want to ask, the Vince Staples show, season 2, is coming out. And season 1, you have a really funny episode with macaroni and cheese.
Right.
As Vince's mother, Anita, on the show. And that's a real thing.
That's a real thing, baby, because I make a mean mac and cheese, too.
Oh, yeah, you cook.
Yeah, don't be bringing your stuff to my house. I got it. Just show up.
I got some mac and cheese questions for you then.
Okay.
But on that particular episode, there was a little beef because somebody else bought the mac and cheese, even though they knew that was your thing.
Right.
And it was
trying to outshine her. You don't outshine Anita, honey. No.
All right, so mac and cheese, breadcrumbs or no?
No breadcrumbs.
Okay. What about, now, I remember we had Corey Hartrick up here, and I feel like he said he put cream of mushroom.
No cream of mushroom.
Okay, I was just asking. So what is your macaroni and cheese?
I make a roux. I make a good roux with good butter, lots of cheese, heavy cream. Mm-hmm. And then you mix it in, and then you layer cheese on top of that, and you use about 5-6 different cheeses.
How long have you been cooking? Because I know that's a thing for you, too.
I've been cooking for a long time. I used to be, when I was living here in New York by myself, I would cook for myself. It was very healthy. But then when I got married and had my first daughter, who's now 35, so I've been married 37 years.
Amazing.
I realized that my husband needed some food. He didn't want to eat fish and vegetables all the time. Mm-hmm. And especially when my first daughter was born. She was born with a very healthy appetite. So I started doing gourmet cooking classes. That was my thing. Like, the kids would come home from school, I'd get them together, then I would run and do gourmet cooking classes. And I did that for years. And I just love cooking. But my favorite thing is to make tablescapes. People follow my Instagram to see what tables I'm setting up. That's one of my favorite things to do.
And it is holiday season time.
Oh, I have a good time during holiday season.
I can see you with your own line of
I've been wanting to do that. I've my own line of a lot of stuff. Linens. I love linens. I love cutlery. I love china. I love glasses. I mean, you should see my house. I look like a rental.
I know holidays with you is amazing.
Yeah, I love it. Because I set a table. You don't do any plastic plates. I can't stand them tinfoil things. I can't stand that. Don't be bringing no dish over, no tinfoil. And don't have me, you go to people's houses. Now, if it's a picnic, I get it. But don't be giving me no paper plate, no plastic fork, and a paper napkin. No, when you come to my house, you sit down and you have a proper setting and a proper meal.
Now, you've worked with a lot of veterans, being a veteran yourself, but with Vince Staples, him getting his own show, it's very, I would say, dry humor, deadpan. It's random.
Sarcasm.
Sarcasm. A lot of deadpan humor. What drew you to that script and that show? I want to know how that even happened.
Well, they approached me, and I met with them, and I read, and I liked the script. And my daughters, I'm going to be honest, I didn't know who Vince was. Mm-hmm. And my daughters, oh, Mom, are you kidding? Vince Staples? And they went on and on. They said, you know his music? I said, I do. And our KJLH, our station in L.A., I listened. I said, oh, I do know his music. I had been hearing his music. I just didn't know that was him. But when I met him, it was so endearing. And he's so serious. But that's what I like about him, because of his young age. He's so focused. He's so serious. And he understands the importance of having his name on this show. So he takes that very seriously. And just to work with him, to watch him navigate everything, he's very hands-on. He writes a lot of the episodes. He's a producer on it, the creator.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and he writes a lot of the episodes. And he's very very generous and wants to make sure you're good and everybody's okay. So watching him work is very inspirational to see that, and I'm very, very proud of him. So all of that drew me to it because you want to be in a place where you're appreciated, where your work is going to be valued, where you're going to get a chance to really do some good work, and where people are going to be kind, and it's a great fun set, and that's exactly what we have.
I remember when the first season ended and he was really petitioning like to get a second season, and he was like calling for people to be like, come on.
He had to work for that. No, he had to really work for that.
It worked.
And it worked.
Yeah.
But see, that's what I'm saying. He's driven. He's focused.
I was thinking, because at the time I was like, do we already know there's a second season and he's doing this?
Actually, I think there wasn't.
Oh,
but
wow.
I think he turned the tides.
I've never seen that really happen.
No,
like that.
it was bleak. It was bleak because no, seriously, the word came down to me that it wasn't happening, and I was disappointed. Then months later, they called my manager and said that we were doing a season 2, and I was like, hallelujah, praise Jesus.
God is good. And your character is so funny on there. Is there any way that you could see yourself relating to Anita as a mother, his mom?
Well, some ways, of course, because I am a mother of 2, but I don't speak to my children that way. I mean, Anita,
her daughter be beefing.
Baby, Anita has a peppery mouth, as I say. And I don't speak to my children like that. Now, have I thought some of those things? Absolutely.
Just haven't said them.
I just haven't said them. And I have 2 daughters, so that can be challenging, and it has been challenging at times. But unlike Anita and her daughter, we have worked through our differences so that on the other side now, because they're adults, and we have a very healthy, loving relationship. But, they're any mother and daughter, they have a time where you got to learn how to give your children space, and they will give you boundaries.
Right.
And you have to respect those boundaries, and you have to respect their opinions on things because they are grown. And then you got to remember that you raised them, so they should be equipped with everything that they need. And luckily for me, my girls are. So yeah, I relate to that. And mothers and Black Mother 101. We kind of spicy. We say what we gonna say. The kids know what one look we can shut you down.
Right. They know what it is.
They know what it is.
Both your daughters went to HBCUs, right?
My daughters are Spelman grads. Yes, they are, and members of my sorority Alpha Kappa Alpha. So yeah.
Oh wow.
Yes, honey.
Okay, it's a family affair.
It's a family affair.
I know. I saw you do a post about HBCUs, and
I love HBCUs. I wish I would have went to one, but
I love the fact that we talk about how enrollment is down for colleges across the board, but they're up for HBCUs.
Because you know what? We're going to have to take care of our own again. Because when people realize why they were even created, because they didn't want us in their schools, that's why you have sororities and fraternities, because we didn't have social clubs. We didn't have all that stuff. And with this country now, we're going to have to all go back to the old way of taking care of ourselves. We need to rebuild Tulsa, Oklahoma type things.
Yes.
Rosewood. We need to rebuild our own communities and bring the wealth back to our communities because they ain't feeling us. They ain't checking for us. And the sooner you know that, the better off we're going to be.
What has been exciting for me is we're coming off elections just now and seeing what turnout was like. Like here in New York City, we've had like the highest turnout that we've had in 50 years.
I heard that.
People voted early at a crazy rate, and then we've seen a lot of firsts. And I see a lot of women winning elections across the nation.
Yes.
So that to me has been something that shows me, like, I call it the Trump effect, because I feel like as much as things are really bad for people right now, it's also forcing people to be like, okay,
to take ownership and make things better.
Yeah,
yes,
and also
absolutely.
for us to come together and say, what are we going to do together? And I see so many people like helping each other, figuring out ways while SNAP benefits are shut down. Everybody is like kind of stepping up to the plate, realizing that we all got to get along.
We're going to help each other in our own communities.
Yeah. This role that you're in now, you've been doing this there was no plan B for you when it comes to acting, dancing, theater, and all of that. Yeah.
I didn't, you got to first of all believe in yourself. And I really believed in myself. And it was just I used to have dreams about me and stuff. I never forget one time when I was doing the original company of Dream Girls, and I was in the ensemble. This is in the 80s. And I had this vivid dream of me with Darnell Williams and all my children because I wanted to be on that show so bad. I used to send the casting director and producer notes and cards and postcards all the time. Wow. I used to send them stuff constantly. And I had a vivid dream of me and him together doing a scene. I saw it, and it happened. It came to fruition.
Wow.
Yeah. So a lot of things in my career I've seen, or I just knew it was going to happen, so I just keep going. So no, there was no plan B. I danced. I was a concert dancer here in New York for a while, and I did Broadway, off-Broadway, did lots of commercials. I did a lot of that. And then when I left to go out to California, my career just continued to grow. But it was just never plan B.
And I always say theater, for people who start off with theater, I feel like that is just such something that is so much harder than being on television.
Oh,
Just
it is.
Yeah.
And everybody
so
that does theater,
gives you that.
everybody that does film and TV can't do theater, and everybody that does theater can't do film and TV. They're three very different entities. And I was just 2 years ago, I was just here on Broadway back with Pearly cast. I was in Pearly Victorious with Leslie Odom Jr. and an amazing cast, Kara Young, our beautiful Kara, my baby, two-Tony Award winner. But it was, to go back to Broadway was so great. I love theater. I had a one-woman show that I did for like over 10 years called Letters from Zora. It's about
Zora Neale Hurston, yes.
I did it at the
Legendary.
Crossroads in New Jersey. So I keep my theater chops going because that is what keeps you just ready and primed.
It's sharp.
It's sharp. And you're right, it's different because unlike cut, if you're doing a movie or some television, you can flub, you can mess up, you can start over. Once you open your mouth on the stage, you got to keep going. And if you mess up, you got to make it right.
And people, I'm sure that when you do, people in the audience don't even know.
They don't know.
Because
unless
you're
you
that
tell
much
them,
of
yeah, you don't know. You mean, like I've been on stage, we've been on stage with people, they drop a line, you drop a line, you look at each other, and it's like somebody picked this ball up.
But let's not talk over each other. Like
Yeah.
somebody got to do it, but we got to act like.
But when you're professional and you're working with pros, they know how to get it back on track.
This business, like we've been saying, is something that can make people feel like there's ups and downs, with this. But it feels like you've had a pretty steady, and obviously I don't know what happens behind the scenes for you, but do you feel like you've always had like a really steady, like always?
I've had lulls like anybody else. I've had great winning moments and I've had slow moments. I've had victories and I've had losses, and that's life. But you just keep going, and you try not to focus on the things that didn't happen because they didn't happen.
Right.
What you gonna do?
People talk about roles that they wish they would have taken, or that that
I think
that they had the
there's
opportunity.
roles that you think you should have gotten and you didn't, and most of the times when I've been disappointed because I didn't get it, it's never because you weren't good. It's other reasons.
It just wasn't right.
And it wasn't yours. And then I'll see it, and I'll see the person they chose, and I'll say, oh, I get it. I see why they chose this person. So it's just, most times it's not impersonal. A lot of times it's just relationships.
Yeah.
You may be even a better actor than the person who got the job, but they're better friends with the person who was given the job.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of reasons.
That's interesting you say that. I was looking at, I did this story today, and they were talking about this show, this series that's out, and Kim Kardashian's in it, and they are giving it like terrible reviews. But I also,
they are?
Yeah.
I haven't read anything.
No, yeah.
Was it All's Fair? No.
That's
is it
that's
called
what it's called. I haven't
Okay.
seen it yet, but honestly, it made me want to look at it because now I'm like, are they doing it because they can't stand her and they're like as an actress? Because I also feel like sometimes people do get things like you said because they're friends or they have some type of star power that may not be acting, but people are going to tune in to watch. And
Well, right now a lot of people get it because they're influencer or they got high numbers.
that influencer thing
But,
right
but,
now
but
is
people don't realize is that numbers don't put people in the seats.
it does not.
And numbers don't make people turn the TV on all the time. So, but hey, if it's your project, you get to hire who you want. I ain't got nothing to say about Kim doing it. I'm sure if I was her, I'd have taken a job too. And nobody is born a brilliant actress. It's something you have to work at.
Yeah.
So maybe this is her time to work on her acting skills. I don't know, but I ain't mad at nobody because it's hard to get up in there.
Yeah.
So
is
everybody
hard
they want to arrive at the same spot. But they have different roads and ways to get there. But a lot of people want to end up on a big screen or that little screen or the music on the radio. They just have different roads in which they accomplish that.
What are and I know you also work behind the scenes, right?
Yes, I direct and produce, yes.
Yes, directing and producing. So tell me what was the first thing that you directed?
Oh my God, the very first thing I directed? Okay, I was in Dreamgirls.
Yes.
And one of our singers, one of our chorus members, she had, Retta Hughes was her name, and she did a song called Angel Man about the guardian angels here in L.A., in New York. And I directed that for her. That's when, this is like the 80s. That's when, you just took a camera out. That was the very first thing.
That's hilarious.
I choreographed it as well. It was funny. And then I didn't do anything for a long time. But, when you realize that because I've been dancing, I choreographed, I've done all that. I've been doing it for years, since I was in high school. You just don't know that you're prepping yourself for that.
Right.
And then one day you look up, you're like, oh, I know how to do this. Like when I've really got in front of, behind the camera, it was an easy transition because I've been in front of the camera for so long that I knew a lot more than I thought I knew. And I love directing, and I like the nuances and being the detail of things, especially working with the characters, working with the actors. That's the part I like the best. So yeah, you just learn how to do it all because it's already in there.
Do you love directing and producing though, or do you
I
prefer?
do.
Okay.
I prefer. I mean, I still love acting. I don't love directing enough to give up my acting, but I like them both. And
it's good to be able to fluidly move between.
yeah, to move between. It's difficult too. It's hard to get directing jobs. Last thing I did was a movie. I directed a movie. Black Girl Erupted for BET. That was on like a year ago, over a year ago. So, yeah, it's. I'm not going to give up my acting career though.
No, of course not,
yet.
and
No.
you better not.
No, I'm not. I'm not done with that
How much
yet.
ad-libbing do you guys do on the Vince Staples show?
Well, it's written very well, so we really don't have to do a lot. But in a moment of anything, it's like if it's working well and there's some really good, interesting, real vibes going between you and I. If we were doing a scene, and because you are a natural, organic person, you may have something different to add than what's on the page, and you add it because it works, it flows. And they're not going to say, cut, you added a word, But now you can't rewrite the person's whole thing and just start doing,
of course not.
But
no,
we
I was
do
just
add
thinking about certain scenes, like when you guys are in the new season, you're getting a rental car.
Yeah, I mean, there's some things we ad-libbed and something, but it was written well, so we really didn't have to do a lot. And if you get to keep the rhythm going, you don't really have time for a lot of ad-libs because you don't want to stretch out the time. You know what I mean?
What was your own mother like?
Oh, my mother was, she was feisty. Yeah, she was. She is. She's still alive. She's 90 now, but
oh wow, that's a blessing.
Yeah, she's 90, but she Beverly didn't take no mess. No, honey, I never forget one time my sister, who's 4 years older than me, did something and my mother jumped up and pop clocked her, and I said, "Ooh, I won't be messing with Beverly."
my business. And
yeah, I didn't mess with Beverly when I was young. No, but she's good.
And sometimes I think parents are with your daughters, and I'm going to ask you this about your mom too. But sometimes acting can feel like this Hollywood. It can be a little bit of an intimidating place, and you can be concerned about for you as a young girl in this business. Was that ever a concern?
No, my mother was very supportive. She used to drive me to those dance classes because that's when I discovered dance. And I was at the Caribou House because we didn't have any money, so she got me a scholarship there. And she was very diligent. She made sure I got to all my dance classes, and then when I started doing plays, so she wasn't concerned. She was happy for me. She used to fly to New York all the time from Cleveland when I started going on Broadway and started doing more things here. And she ended up moving here for a while. And
so she was super hands-on.
She was super hands-on.
I think that's how you have to be when you have young kids in this business too. You can't just hand it over.
Well, you gotta want. The best thing to me is to want for your kids what they want for themselves. Doctors, lawyers, of course you like your child to go in your footsteps, I guess. But if that's not their heart's desire, then let them find them. Because sometimes it doesn't work just because it worked for you. That doesn't mean they want to do the same.
What about your daughters?
My daughters, I'm so proud of my daughters. My youngest daughter works at Lionsgate.
Okay.
She's in the television department. She's married for almost 2 years now. My oldest daughter is a literary and talent manager at Issa Rae's Color Creative. And she was one of the producers on One of Them Days. And she's in business school at UCLA Anderson School of Business. So
that is amazing.
Yeah, they
run our job with the kids.
They run our family businesses, and they're doing their own thing. They like the industry, but they want to be on the other side.
Right.
I'm happy with that. They've seen me suffer enough.
You feel like you suffered
Of course I've suffered. Yes. Like I said, I've had great moments, but I've had a lot of moments that could have been better. Sure.
Right. When you see everybody, talking about, I feel like it's just a time now where I feel like people are able to open up more about what their experiences have been like, and I've seen that a lot more.
I think you do yourself a disservice if you don't. Be honest with yourself first. Look at that mirror. And it is what it is, and be okay with it. That doesn't define who I am or even who I was at that moment, but it's all a part of who I am now.
Right.
It makes you even better and stronger. So, you gotta, it is what it is.
Have you done a book?
I currently am working on stuff. I'll just say that.
No, because I just feel like I would love to see what that's going to be like, because I feel like there's so many
when
stories.
Everything's ready, I'll call you and you can have me back on. How about that?
Listen, I need to get an advanced copy beforehand. So
I'm sure we'll have all that ready.
What made you decide that now is the time? Because I always think it's interesting when we decide, okay, it's time to tell my story.
Actually, it's something I've been working on for years, and it wasn't right. And I stopped, and I even went through editing, and something was still missing for me. And I'm not going to tell you the premise of the book, but I'll say this. It wasn't until I figured out what I really wanted to say and what my point of view was and who I was writing it for. And if they are the only people that read it, then I've accomplished my goal. Hopefully other people will be interested because of what's in it. But I've been working on this book for, it's almost embarrassing to say, like 15 years.
I don't think that's embarrassing. I feel like I've heard people say they've written their books too early.
Yeah,
and
it wasn't ready because I wasn't doing it for me. I was doing it because people said you should write a book. You should write a book. So I sat down and I started doing it. But then as I read it, it was good. But it's like, but what am I really trying to say? What is it? What is it really I want? Then I went through an editing phase and was like, then I stopped and then I started listening to every audio book I could, to see what I was missing that other people had. But it wasn't until earlier this year that it hit me. And now I'm trying to get everything back and we're finishing it.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I do think timing is everything.
Yes.
And the conversations that you can have, like, with your...
I can't believe I just told you that because I said I'm not going to tell anybody anything, and I have not been talking about this. You made me tell my secret.
No, that's good, though, because you know how many people... Did you do it? You did a deal already? Oh, you have a literary agent in the family, so...
No, I ain't going through her.
That's hilarious. Did you talk to them about it? Because I know
no, I
sometimes
can't, but I can't share it with them.
Okay,
because they're involved too much right now.
I was gonna say I know a lot.
They
of
don't
times...
even know. They don't even know. They just come in the house because they drop their dogs off like it's doggy daycare. So in the morning when they both on the way to work, they drop the dogs off. They just know I'm up early in the morning working in my room. So they have no idea what I'm doing. So I hope they don't hear this interview.
Okay. Well, I hope they do because I hope everyone hears it. But
I hope everybody hears it with them. How about that?
What are some things that you feel like you still need to do? Because I know like cooking is big for you. I know, like you said, producing and directing.
I feel like I need to direct more. I want to direct more. There's a lot of things that I just want to.
Some stories that you want to tell.
Stories I want to tell or help tell. Of course, I just love any great acting part. I want to go back on Broadway.
I knew it. Okay, that's what I was
want to
go,
go, but it's got to be something more substantial. Because when I was here doing Pearly, it was great, but I got to leave my house. I was here for like over 6 months. Living in somebody else's apartment.
Right.
Missing my family horribly because we're very close. Although they would come and visit me, I was away from everything I knew. My dog, I miss Ziggy terribly. So it's got to be something substantial that is worth me leaving for. But I would do it at a heartbeat. Anybody out there who's got a new Broadway show that's looking for somebody like me,
oh my gosh, you're about to get a billion calls.
I would do it.
Okay.
Yeah, I would do it.
All right. Well, I appreciate you for coming up here and just sharing all this with me because I know you got a busy packed schedule. But
well, tell everybody watch Finn Staples. I'm gonna say this to everybody. Season 2. But this is what you got to do, people. You got to binge it. If you haven't seen season 2, please watch season 1. Turn it on and let it go. I don't care if you fall asleep, if you get to go to the bathroom, go to the grocery store. Just let it run all the way through.
I had to go back and watch season 1 because I feel like it's been a long time.
Yeah, well, go back and watch season 1 and then double thumbs it at the end.
Okay. Let me double thumbs it.
Yeah, you got to double thumbs it.
And
then watch season 2 after you watch season 1. And the same thing, do not turn it off. And then go back if you need to go back and see stuff and double thumbs it. That helps Netflix decide if they want to give us a season 3, which I think we deserve because this season is funny. I think people are going to love it. Vince is brilliant. He's very brilliant in his writing and his whole concept, his whole way of thinking. He just has a different sense of humor, which I find refreshing and great. It's not like your usual story about a person that age, and it's not like da 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 ba-dum bum da 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 ba-dum bum. It's like the humor is there, but the seriousness is there, the sarcasm, the satire, it's all there, and together it just makes for a great style. It's a different style.
And I hate to compare anything to anything, but this is another show that I loved, Atlanta.
It kind of gives you that vibe.
It gives me that Atlanta vibe, and I only say that because it was such a good show. Also,
it's funny though. It gives you that vibe, but it's nothing like Atlanta.
It's nothing like it,
but it gives you that vibe. Right, it gives you that vibe.
Yeah, which is not. It's a compliment.
So it's a compliment. No, most definitely. But I don't want people to think that who hasn't seen it's like, oh, it's like another Atlanta. No, it's nothing like it. Yeah. But it just gives you that. It's just like real. It's just in the pocket. This show
this season is very different from the last season.
Very different from last season. Very different.
The storyline that we're following.
Very different. Yeah.
It's not as fragmented. Like I felt like last season there was a lot of different things.
This is a through storyline. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, it's very different. Yeah.
All right. Well, tune in. Vanessa Bell Calloway. I can't
Thank
wait for
you,
this book to come
Angela.
out. And we already talked about it, so I cannot wait to have you
Now,
up
hey,
here.
now you're making me really have to go back and make it happen. I got to
No,
finish
you know what?
it.
Sometimes you got to put it out
Out
there.
there, you do
and
gotta
hold
finish
yourself
it.
accountable because everyone else is
Exactly.
going to hold you accountable for that.
And I appreciate that. Although I've been working, though. I have
No,
been
you
working.
have been.
Yeah.
And you have these visions, and I feel like you've already envisioned what
I
it's going to
have.
be like.
I've already envisioned
when you're
it.
this best-selling
That's
author.
why I know it's time, because I'm I'm seeing everything.
Okay,
Yeah.
my psychic friend. All right, Vanessa Bell Calloway. Again, we talked about it, but you got to watch Vince Staples season 2. That starts on Friday.
No, it starts tomorrow.
Oh, tomorrow. Okay.
Yeah, the November 6th,
All right, let me say it
Thursday.
again. That starts tomorrow. All
I
right,
guess
so
really
make sure
after
y'all tune in.
midnight. You can really do it midnight, because tomorrow's midnight, right? So
Yep.
you could do it whenever.
All right, period.
Yeah.
It's on now.
It's
all
on
I'm
now.
gonna say. It's
How
on
about
now.
that?
All right, it's way up.